Crackling crust, stretchy chewy crumb, fruity sour flavor, and the intoxicating aroma of a fresh baked loaf of bread. I'm gonna walk you through our artisan sourdough step by step. The first ingredient is 600 grams of water. Our next ingredient is our active sourdough starter. And then add this to our large mixing bowl. Next, whisk to combine so that the starter is entirely dissolved into the water. We have 800 grams of bread flour. Then we have 200 grams of whole wheat flour. So we can go ahead and add our flour to our yeast and water mixture. All right, so we have a shaggy dough, but all the flour has been incorporated. At this point, we're going to stop and let it rest for 30 minutes. I'm covering it with a damp towel. So after 30 minutes, look at how stretchy this is. And we didn't have to do any work to get it that way. Awesome. So adding salt. Just go ahead and sprinkle it over the dough, and then our water. Go ahead and squeeze the dough pretty rigorously to get the salt incorporated as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and cover our dough again with a damp towel. It's been 30 minutes, and now we're gonna do our series of stretches and folds. Dampen my fingertips because it will make the dough easier to handle and won't stick to my fingers then. So the first thing we're gonna do is at the top of the dough, I'm going to kind of reach under and grab and fold over. And then finally, I'm gonna just turn the dough over on itself and just kind of flip it. Cover the dough back up for 45 minutes. And we'll go for our second stretch and fold. So there will be no more turns or stretches and folds. We're done with all of that. The final portion is just letting the yeast do its thing, building flavor, and we'll check back in about an hour, hour and a half to see how our dough is doing and if it's ready to be shaped. While we're just finishing up to wait for our dough to finish rising, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare our baskets that the dough will go in. And this is just all-purpose flour. Just going to get it coated. Just a light coating so that the dough doesn't stick. It's been about an hour and a half. So how do you know when your dough is ready to be shaped? Basically, the couple things that you'll notice is that the dough will be domed, and then it will also have increased in volume. And then there's noticeable air bubbles and air pockets that you'll see, which means the yeast has been working hard, generating lots of gases and flavor. I think our dough is ready to be shaped. So for this stage, I'm going to lightly flour our surface with all-purpose flour. Turn out our dough onto our floured surface. And then from here, we're just going to divide into 2 loaves, because this recipe makes 2. I'm just going to eyeball. So now that we've divided the dough, we're gonna do a quick, gentle pre-shape. Just kind of getting it into a loose, round shape. And from here, we're gonna let them rest again for another 30 minutes, and then we'll get them into their final shape. They look great. They have relaxed a little bit, but they still have a pretty nice rounded shape. We've got a soft, sticky bottom, which is good because we want the dough to be able to stick to itself. If you add too much flour, it won't stick. We're gonna start with bringing the bottom of the dough up 2/3 over. From there, I'm gonna take this side, stretch it up gently and bring it up over the middle. Take the other side, stretch it up gently, up over the middle, And then we're going to take the top and bring it up over and around. And at this point, I'm going to do sort of a tuck and turn. Get it into our basket. So you want the seam side up. You can kind of pinch to seal a little bit. Okay, so our dough is ready for its final rise in our baskets. You can do one of two things. You can cover them with a damp towel, or these reusable plastic covers are super handy. So for this, we need 3 to 4 hours for this to final rise at room temperature. Once again, you can put it in a nice warm environment. The alternative is putting these in the refrigerator for up to about 12 hours. That will slow down this fermenting and rising process, but it also will nurture like a very nice sour flavor. So I'm actually gonna put mine in the fridge, and we'll see you again in 12 hours. Good morning. So our dough has been chilling in the fridge for about 12 hours, and we're gonna go ahead and get it ready to bake. I'm bringing it out of the fridge in order to let it come up to room temperature for a little bit, about 45 minutes to an hour, because we don't want really cold dough to go in the oven. We kind of want to equalize the temperature. The next thing we're going to do while we're waiting for our Dutch oven to preheat, it's currently in our oven, which is at 475 degrees. We're going to make a foil sling. So our Dutch oven is going to be rocking hot when we place the dough into it, and this tool will help you more easily transfer the dough into your Dutch oven. I have a 12 by 18 inch rectangle. We're just going to fold the top and bottoms down. Okay, so this is all set. Our dough is a little bit sticky, so I'm going to add a little bit of flour on this bottom surface, just so that it won't stick to the Dutch oven. Then we're going to take our foil sling, place it seam side up. You don't want this edge touching the dough because it could potentially bake into the dough. I have a small cutting board that we'll use to invert. All right, we are at our final step before baking this loaf. We're gonna score the dough. Now the purpose of doing this is to control the way the dough will expand in the oven. So I have my lamb here. Key to this is a very sharp blade and a quick, decisive movement. And you wanna aim to be about 1/4 to 1/2 inch deep. I'm gonna do one large slash and then maybe a couple decorative ones too. And if you don't think you've gone deep enough, you can always give it another stroke. Let's make way for our hot Dutch oven. All right, in we go. Just gonna fold the sides down. The lid will stay on for the first 20 minutes, and then I'll remove it and we'll leave it in for another 20 to 25 minutes until it's a nice dark caramel brown. Here we go. It's our gorgeous loaf of caramelized bread. Go ahead and take it out. It's looking awesome, you guys. We need to let this cool at least 2 hours before we cut into it. I know that's like torture because it looks and smells amazing at this point, and nothing's better than hot baked fresh bread. But if you tear into it too soon, a lot of the moisture is going to end up being released, and you will end up with a loaf of bread that stales quickly. So be patient, it's worth the wait, and we'll see you in a bit. All right, this is the moment of truth. Our loaf is cooled off and ready to be cut. I like propping it up on its edge because it gives me a little bit better leverage and a good grip. Look at that. Oh, beautiful, nice pockets. It's chewy, it's stretchy. So it's no doubt that sourdough bread is a little bit of a labor of love, but it is totally worth all of the time and effort. So be patient and enjoy the journey.